And next, another person I met at the Military Influencer Conference. And we've had a chat since then. And I am so excited to see her again. Charlynda Scales. She has an amazing business. Charlynda is an Air Force veteran, and she is currently in the Air Force Reserves. And she has a combined 20 years of service. And she currently serves as the director of 6888 Kitchen in Daytona, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio. I'm sorry, I'm in Florida. It's all Daytona to me. Dayton, Ohio, and is the founder of Mutz Sauce, a barbecue sauce invented by her grandfather who served in Korea and Vietnam. And I hope you tell everybody how to get some of that barbecue sauce because I know I need some. Charlynda, the virtual mic is yours. So good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Francine. Thank you for having me. What a wonderful day it is, right? This is a day that we can celebrate our veterans and the families that supported our service members throughout the year and caregivers. Anyone who's still serving, I am Charlynda Scales. I am still serving as an Air Force reservist at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And I just wanted to take this time to thank all the people, Francine, Dr. Smiley, for inviting me here today to, spend some time with you and talk about, reflect on our service collectively. um, our service members have done such wonderful things, and some of our veterans are still out there continuing to serve in the local community. I am who I am because the Air Force shaped me on active duty and now as a reservist. So, the theme I want to give today a theme. I'm going to call it the next front line, like how we carry strength into our communities. Uh, I grew up, I'm a country girl from the hills of Tennessee. I grew up in Cookeville, Tennessee, with my grandfather, who was a Korean Vietnam vet, my grandmother, who supported him through his 20 plus years of service, my mom, my aunt, and my two cousins. So we lived in this country home, and it was such a blessing hearing his tales of service in Korean Vietnam, and it definitely shaped who I am. And eventually, those core values that I carried with me on active duty, he really enforced that. Now I'm an officer and a fourth generation veteran. My family has served in every single branch except for the Coast Guard and the Space Force. But hey, there's still time. We got little cousins. I wanted to just highlight some of the things that we learn on active duty. Words that you hear like resilience and discipline and being resourceful and service before self, all those things come into play. I was an acquisitions program manager. So basically, what that means is I was acquiring capabilities and filling capability gaps for the U.S. Air Force. We have strategic priorities, whether it's global superiority or air superiority, and the acquisitions officer is the program manager, the team leader who is helping translate those into the next latest and greatest technologies that we use to fight and win wars. I started out at Robins Air Force Base, then I went to Hanscom Air Force Base in Massachusetts. I did a deployment in support of the global war on terror. And then I went to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where I'm still here. But those things that we learn along the way, I think about my first assignment at Robbins, and one of my mentors was, we call them crusty old chief master sergeants. And those chiefs and those enlisted members, they're really the backbone. They've been in the trenches. They try to steer you in the right direction. The best thing you can do to be successful, especially if you're an officer, is to listen to them. And he was telling me, know your job, do your job. And I never had this complacency of being perfect at anything. We're in this constant pursuit of continuing to do better. How can we continue to serve? And the reason why I mention this is because now as an entrepreneur, those things will come into play. And I know that there's some folks here who are in professional organizations or you're entrepreneurs and you're wondering like, how do I capture the things from active duty and use them in my work in the community? That's one of those ways. Even when the uniform comes off, that training never ends. I left active duty in 2015 and I started my company Mutz Sauce while I was still on active duty. It is a barbecue sauce that I got from my grandfather. He made it in 1956. It was such a wild ride. I'm still on it. He gave me a piece of paper. So what people think is this big company Mutz Sauce that I inherited was actually a piece of paper recipe that he wrote on a index card. So what do you do when you have something that is seemingly insignificant, but you have the military training and you have a vision for what you want to do? And I'll just tell you what I've done and what I've seen other entrepreneurs do, especially veterans. We figure out what that checklist is and we figure out what resources that we need and we go out there and we get the job done. The one thing that I wasn't prepared for though was that transition. And that's that unforced, that unseen front line because we have battles that we're facing inside that the rest of the public doesn't see or understand for that matter. I am 70% disabled, so I deal a lot with anxiety, um, trauma, and many of those experiences that I had came from deployment and situations where people's lives were on the line. I'm thinking about the 2008 California wildfires. I was in my 20s, and it was one of the biggest wildland forest fires we'd ever had in the United States. And I was the lead of the military airborne firefighting system. So every minute that we were working, people were losing their homes and their lives were threatened. And that was in my early 20s, about 18 years ago. Uh, and 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 that's where I started. So once you start there, it only gets more difficult, more challenging then. So you carry with you those scars and experiences that people don't see. And how do you deal with that? How do you continue serving amongst those things? How do you deal with the transition when you don't know where to go? And that's why I love forums like this because you're going to hear from some really great service members of how they're continuing to serve. You're going to learn about what resources are out there, like the VFW and the American Legion, who are reaching out, especially to our younger generation of veterans. And, you know, the things that you have that might be considered a disability are not signs of weakness. They're just proof that you're still fighting. You're still fighting to be here. You're still fighting to make a difference. And I applaud you for that. And so now I want to talk about what you can do now. Um, Francine mentioned that we met at the Military Influencer Conference, and I know that that has like that word influencer has some, I don't know what they call them to it. Influencers not what we seek to be. We seek to be influential. And I know that the people that were there seek to be influential in their communities and in their country. So I want to encourage you to find ways, find those ways that you can be influential, find those ways that you can be innovative by using your military service and open up new perspectives for the people around you of how you can get the job done. Where some people see a door, you see a clear path. And then community. We know how to build community. We know how to build that camaraderie. It's already within you. There's not some special skill that you need to learn. I just wanted to be on here to encourage you that you don't have to feel qualified to be qualified. And if you believe in something bigger than yourself, rock bottom has a trampoline. Thank you.
Oh my God, I love that phrase. Rock bottom has a trampoline. I just got the chills thinking about that. Yes. And do you know, I really wasn't around the military environment after I retired from my government career. And when I went to the military's influencer conference, I realized that was something I missed in my life. If you are
Mm,
watching this today and you are a veteran of any way, shape, or form, or even a military spouse, get in the community because we speak a
Yeah.
language that most people don't understand unless they were there. So, Charlinda, how can people reach you? How can they get some of that hot sauce? Because I'm wanting some.
Yes. So right now we have an effort that we're doing with Meredith College. They're relaunching Mutz Sauce on 1 January. So if you want to go to mutzsauce.com or watch us on our socials to see how you can get on the pre-order list for the relaunch. And I also have my book, Rock Bottom Has a Trampoline, you can access from Amazon or through my website, Charlynda Jean, Jean.com. Or if you want to learn more about our efforts with 6888 Kitchen, which is a commercial kitchen out of Dayton, Ohio, you can go to 6888kitchen.org.
And when you go on Amazon and you get that book, Rock Bottom is a Trampoline, leave a review because authors love reviews.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Thank you, Charlinda. It was a pleasure talking to you again today. Hey, let's chat again on Zoom sometime.
All right. Thank you,
All
Francine.
right. Thank you.